Good morning, Scotland. Good morning, social media land. I hope you're well. It is Thursday, the 20th of March, 2025. Labour promised change. They swore they were different. No more Tory cruelty, no more austerity, no more suffering. And yet, look what they've done. They have kept the two-child benefit cap, ensuring thousands of Scottish children grow up in poverty. They cut the winter fuel payment, leaving pensioners to freeze in their homes. And now they are gutting disability benefits because they always come from the people least able to fight back. This is not fiscal responsibility. This is economic violence. It's a war against the vulnerable, waged by those who swore they would protect them. It is deliberate, it is calculated, it is cruelty dressed up as policy, and they chose it. Let's be clear. In 2024, Scotland voted for Labour in a general election for Westminster. And now, I bet a lot of the Labour voters are looking back and wondering, what on earth were they thinking? They didn't vote for this. They voted for the promise of change. They voted for an end to Tory rule and an end to austerity, lower energy bills and a fairer, clearer, better economy. That's what Labour promised them. And now those same voters are watching Keir Starmer and Anas Sarwar rip those promises apart. They were lied to. They were conned. They were manipulated. And now they're watching the Labour Party do exactly what the Tories did, but with a red rosette. And probably actually more efficiently than the Tories as well. Talk about Anas Sarwar. He stood before Scotland and lied. He said, read my lips, no austerity. He said he would save the jobs in Grangemouth. And now he's saying that this isn't austerity because overall spending is rising. If you steal food from a starving man, but tell him, don't worry, the farm's doing well, does that fill his stomach? This is austerity, this is theft, and worst of all, it's an attack on the most vulnerable people again. Labour are cowards. This is your union, though, filled with the lies and gaslighting promises and economic violence on the people that need the help the most. And it was all avoidable. Because Labour had choices. They could have raised money without making the most vulnerable suffer. A wealth tax, a tiny percentage from the richest in society, could have raised billions, but they refused. A crackdown on tax-dodging nom-doms that could have forced the rich to actually pay their fair share. They refused that too. A financial transaction cash, a corporate tax loophole crackdown, a higher tax on billionaire landowners, every one of these could have closed the financial gap. But they refused. Instead, they came for pensioners, the disabled and the poor because they are the easiest to steal from. They don't have lobbyists, they don't have lawyers, they don't have million-pound donors funding them. But they're the ones that pay every single time. Labour had choices, didn't they? And they chose not out of necessity, but out of cruelty. And even Labour's members can see through this betrayal. Neil Findlay, a former Scottish Labour MSP, just quit the party after 35 years. Not just a councillor, not just some minor backbencher, a man who sat in Holyrood for a decade. His resignation was a damning indictment. He called out Keir Starmer for lying to the British people. He accused Labour of abandoning its values, of selling out the working class, of turning its back on those it was supposed to protect. And he's not alone. Labour members across Scotland and the UK are tearing up their party cards because they can see that this isn't the Labour Party they signed up for. This is Tory rule with a red tie. And still Anas Sarwar stands there, gaslighting Scotland, telling us it isn't austerity, telling us cutting benefits for the disabled is just reform, telling us Labour cares about the working people while gutting support for the most vulnerable. He thinks we're idiots. He thinks we'll swallow every lie, every excuse, every word of scripted Westminster nonsense. He thinks he can stand there, smile for the cameras, and defend policies that will drive disabled Scots further into poverty. And we'll just let him. He's a disgrace, a fraud, a unionist stooge who exists to prop up Westminster's rule over Scotland no matter what the cost. And this is why he's fighting so hard to defend this cruelty, because he knows Labour is just as bad as the Tories. Now listen, I'm all for positive welfare reform, but not a reform that steals from the poor and vulnerable to balance the books. Tax the rich first. Do that, please. And what about Scotland's budget? How will our funding within the Union be affected? It will take another hit because that is how the rigged system works. The Barnett formula depends how much funding Scotland gets based on what Westminster spends on services in England. It was designed not to be fair, but to keep Scotland dependent. And when Westminster cuts spending on these services in England, our funding gets cut too. We didn't vote for this though, did we? We didn't choose these cuts, did we? But we have to pay for them anyway, because Scotland does not have financial control over its own country. So while Scotland tries to protect its disabled people, its elderly and its poorest, Labour just ripped away the funding to do it. The Fraser of Allander Institute warns that Scotland will lose at least £115 million because of this. That's £115 million less for hospitals, less for care homes, less for Scotland's most vulnerable. Cuts we definitely didn't vote for. Cuts that force Scotland to pay for Westminster's cruelty. And what about you unionists? You'll blame Holyrood for struggling to support people. You'll pretend the problem isn't Westminster. You'll ignore the fact that Scotland is being set up to fail. Because that's what you're paid to do. That is your thought process. So go on, tell me again how we're better together. Tell me why we should be grateful for being in this wonderful union of equals. Tell me how this is the price we pay for the privilege of being ruled. Tell me how this union is fair, how it's just the way things are, how Scotland should accept its place. They want us on our knees, and every time we try to stand, they cut our legs out from under us. Too many of our own people cheer them on. That is the real tragedy. The union just doesn't take, it exploits. It makes people believe that they deserve it, that this is normal, that this is just how it has to be. But it isn't. It never was. Scotland is not too poor. Scotland is not too weak, and it's not too small. Scotland, like I said before, is too valuable. And that's why they will never let us go. That's why they will always find another way to steal from us. That's why, until we take our country back, we will always be forced to pay for Westminster's failures. And that is why we need to break free of this union before they drain us dry. Monday's video was all about we need to suffer more before things get better. And Tuesday's video talked about what Johnny Jappy knew, how we were gaslit and told that we weren't wealthy and the wealth was all there, and his interview tells it in his own words. Then on Wednesday, I revisited the podcast from 2006 on Radio 4 that basically backs up what Johnny Jappy said. Now, the reason I did those two particular pieces on Tuesday and Wednesday was to show you how we're manipulated, to show you how we've been lied to in the past. And now, over the past couple of days, Labour are going to cut the welfare budget by $5 billion. Wow! That goes right back to needing to suffer more from the first video on Monday. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tomorrow night we'll be discussing this more. We'll have a good chat on the live stream about it, and maybe a bit of a rant as well. So hopefully you'll come and join us at 11 o'clock on YouTube and TikTok on Friday night. Thanks for watching.
They shut the gates, they stole the keys, took the gold and left us to freeze. They sold our power, they drained our seas, and you still bow down on your knees. Laugh while they take it all, laugh while they watch us fall. Your hands in your pockets, your head in the sand, while they rip the heart from your own homeland. A billion for a stadium's light, but Grangemout's burning out tonight. Your fuel, your homes, your kids, your pride, yet you still stand on their side. Laugh while they take it all, laugh while they watch us fall. Your hands in your pockets, your head in the sand, while they rip the heart from your own homeland. Turbines turn, the cables hum, the power flows, but we get none. They sell it cheap, they set the price, and you just nod, call that a life. Laugh while they take it all, laugh while they watch us fall. Your hands in your pockets, your head in the sand, while they rip the heart from your own homeland. Wake up, wake up, wake up, the fire is out. Your land is burning while you laugh and shout. They feed you lies, they fan the flames, and you just smile while they steal your name. Laugh while they take it all, laugh while they watch us fall. Your hands in your pockets, your head in the sand, while they rip the heart from your own homeland.